Welcome to another episode of the Weekly InSalt, episode 342. We're back again. Feels like it's been forever.
Yes, it has.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Things have gotten a lot warmer. I know that I've gotten a lot busier. Started softball, and then we ended up having practice on Sunday, which totally screwed up everybody's schedule, so we're kind of trying to find our groove again. But we're still here. We didn't go anywhere. You don't have to worry about that. I think we'll be around for a while still. But it should be pretty easy today. I mean, I imagine we have plenty to talk about.
I would think so.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to start it off, Ches?
Oh, where do we want to start? I guess, I don't know. Guys, happened a few weeks ago now, but I've actually seen it on like YouTube stories and everything. So there was a lady. She got into a high-speed chase with Utah Highway Patrol down on I-70, and they spiked her tires. So she stops, and then,
I remember. I think I remember hearing about this.
So they're trying to get her to get out of the car. Well, she's sitting in the car, and the cops are like...
They're in a standoff, basically.
They're like, basically in a standoff. She gets on the phone, calls AAA, and is like, I'm on the side of the road. I've got a flat tire. Can you come and change my flat tire, please?
She's in an active high-speed chase and calls AAA.
Yeah, she's got the cops behind her, like, get out of the car, show us your hands. So AAA, like, they start, like, patching the call through, and they patch it into, like, the officers at the scene, and they talk her into, like, giving up and, like, surrendering.
I guess it's a good thing they can patch the call around.
Yeah.
Like, that'd been crazy if the AAA guy just shows up.
Yeah.
Starts swapping her tires out. Like, I'm just doing my job, dude.
I don't think they'd let him get that far.
Yeah.
They wouldn't. But the thought of it's funny.
He's like, yeah, I'm here to change a tire.
Yeah, which one of the cops? Is it your cop cars or what? Or is it, it's her car. All right. Okay. He just walks over there with his tools.
But she has to get out and show him the AAA card, though, right?
Yep. Yeah. And her ID.
Yeah, and then the cops take her down.
Yeah. They just tased both her and the guy and the AAA guy.
Guy's like, I'm AAA. Guy's like, what are you doing to me? I'm just.
You gotta kind of hand it to her, though. I mean, the creativity was at all-time high. That high-speed chase. Usually, they're not that smart.
No,
you know, they just don't stop until they have to, or they crash. But at least she was like, well, I got flat tires. I guess somebody come fix it.
It's like, time out.
Yeah.
We're gonna continue this chase as soon as I get my tire fixed.
I wonder what she thought was gonna happen. Like, maybe she just knew she was caught, and she's like, I'll just call AAA and waste time.
Yeah.
But I wonder if she thought there was a chance that, like, maybe they will come out and replace my tires.
Yeah, I bet she did.
Maybe. People are not the smartest these days, it seems.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, I thought that was good.
Did you feel that earthquake?
I did not feel an earthquake. I was asleep.
Apparently there was an earthquake last night. I was not asleep. Huh?
There was?
Yeah, it was at midnight. Like 12:11 or something.
Yeah.
I was awake.
How big
I was playing video games. Like it was initially reported as like a 4.2, but the USGS downgraded to 3.9.
Huh.
But it was out by
somewhere in Wasatch County.
Yeah, it wasn't too far, just over the mountains. But apparently,
felt it?
No, I didn't feel anything.
Oh, yeah,
I think it's just an alleged earthquake.
Exactly.
I don't know. It was on the USGS website, and the "Did you feel it" map. There was people that felt it up in like Logan. I'm like, there's no way.
People just
dude.
say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, I felt it.
Let's see where it was. In the last 365 days, Utah has had. I think I was reading somewhere on Reddit that we've had like in the hundreds of earthquakes. It doesn't mean that they're all big, but they happen more often than you think. And then of course it freaks everybody out. There was a bunch of posts on Reddit today too that were like, well, "Are we gonna have the big one? Now that we've had an earthquake like during COVID, and then this earthquake, like, the big one's got to be coming."
Yeah, get ready.
Yeah.
That's what I would just say. Yeah, yep, it's going to happen like tomorrow. So
4 kilometers northwest of Independence, Utah. 3.9.
Yeah, and Independence is somewhere in Wasatch County.
Yeah, it's not far. It's just a little bit southeast of Heber.
I could do for another earthquake.
Yeah?
You love earthquakes, man.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, not like one that's like going to level my house or anything, but a good one. A little bit of shaky. Kind of tip some ladders over or something. But
like a little 3.5 or something?
Yeah, kind of like the one we had last time.
I mean, that one wasn't bad for us, but out in Magna did quite a bit of damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that? That was a 5.2?
I think so. Which is, and isn't the Richter scale like exponential increase, or is that more like for tornadoes?
No, it is.
It's exponential, right?
Yeah.
So like if it was a 6, it's like way more powerful than a 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's even like exponential from like a 5.2 to like a 5.3.
Yeah.
What the fuck's wrong with your mic, Ches?
But I don't see anything wrong with it.
I don't know.
There we go. That's a little bit better.
Was he sounding all muffly?
Yeah.
See, it's been so long, dude. You don't remember how to use the mic
exactly.
anymore, man. I've got some hilarious stuff that I want to talk about. You got to look this up on YouTube, though. There's this sport. We were talking about the Ocho like a few episodes ago, and like how they had the national mullet competition. They had some. What was the other one? Roof ball. What else did they have?
I don't remember roof ball.
The belt sander racing.
The belt sander racing. Yeah.
Well, this
the
is
air guitar.
Oh yeah, the air guitar.
Oh man, that's awful.
Yeah,
I didn't.
That is so awful to
that.
watch. It's one thing you don't stay up for, the air guitar championship. Just go right.
Look at that guy get his neck cracked on your first short. That was wild. But look this up. Look up extreme boat docking.
Oh, nice.
Oh no way.
Yeah, dude. This is a real thing that I had no idea existed, and I was like, I gotta watch some of this. But like, click on that second one.
This one here.
Yeah, I think that one's probably better.
We want some sound or what?
Yeah, you could probably do sound, but just keep it a little backgroundy. But basically, these are people that live on the coast. Oh man, they're making it way too dramatic.
Should I fast forward?
I've never seen the video, so yeah, I would say just get to the action. Oh yeah, just go to the first chapter there at the beginning, and I think that's... So basically you start at a dock, and then you have to speed your boat over there, and then you have to get yourself back all the way into the dock.
Oh, I think I've seen this.
And these are not small boats.
No, they're like big, yeah, they're decent boats.
They're like a good size fishing boat.
These guys got to hook like a ring on or something.
Yep. So yeah, you got to get 2 rings on the post or something, and it counts as you being docked.
Huh.
Let's hear what he says about it.
Boat doctor that's in the hospital from a tragic accident, and everything turned out really great.
And they're not just kind of going for it. They're fast.
So yeah, these rings are like hula hoops.
Yeah, they are. They're big rings. But what do you think the judging's on? Straightness? Or just pure speed?
Probably not touching one of those pylons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you find this?
I don't remember. I had it written down for a couple weeks now. I think I just came across it randomly on YouTube. One of the evenings where I was just in the deep dark depths of YouTube, and I was like, this is something that I have to write down for the podcast.
So yeah, it looks like these might even be specialized boats for doing this.
I think they kind of look like small versions of like just fisherman boats, but you could put crab pots on the back of that or something, but it's not like the Bering Sea crab pots, you'd be doing this out somewhere else, but
yeah, because these boats have got throttle controls on the back.
Yep.
Yeah, is he piloting that boat from that?
From the back.
On the back, yeah.
So you're driving it from the back of the boat.
Huh.
Well, this guy's got his dogs on there.
I'm doing the docking with 1,150 horsepower Caterpillar C18, and we're here to kick some ass.
Jeez.
This is like redneck water sports, dude.
Yeah.
I love it. I kind of want to see a whole competition. Was that guy drinking a beer?
Probably. Oh, he sucks.
Scott Parks is extreme boat docking.
Look at this guy.
Yep, he's drinking. He's got a Bud Light cup.
Wearing his full-on American flag
Cowboy
overalls.
hat and overalls, yep.
We already saw this guy.
Oh, he hit the pylon.
These poles are set at 16 foot, 10 inches. This boat coming in here is 16 foot wide. He's got 5 inches on either side.
Yeah, that tells you how precise they have to be. 5 inches on either side. And they're basically pulling the throttle full throttle every time. The guy just slams 2 beers. But you know what?
Yeah.
We should get a boat, dude. Weekly InSalt should sponsor a
Yeah.
boat docking.
Yeah, that's the last thing I need to own here in Utah.
Well, no, we'll just sponsor a boat out here in the competition. Put our slap our name on the side of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be in for that.
Sounds great, and that's what's so unique about this. Everybody is really friendly, it's competitive, they talk a lot of smack. This ranks right up with your birthday, Thanksgiving dinner, and Christmas breakfast, man. This is
That guy. I love that guy, dude. I want to hang out with him.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, so I figured you guys would find that pretty funny. I wonder what other extreme sports are out there that we don't know of yet.
What extreme sport can we invent?
Oh man, I think that when I was in like middle school, we invented a game that was kind of similar to kick the can, but I don't remember the rules of it.
I think extreme ironing is better.
There's no way that you. Oh, geez, there is.
Yeah. These people get into it.
What?
Yeah. Let's watch this.
Oh, is it okay? So extreme ironing is like they go places to where they iron.
Yeah, we got to get through this Liberty Mutual. There we go.
Of all the sports in the world, this one must be one of the weirdest. Extreme ironing.
So this guy's like running through the forest with an ironing board and ironing in the woods.
Yep, he's
Like up in a tree.
Rock climbing Brit Phil Shaw, otherwise known as Steam, claims to have invented the pastime when he came home to find a pile of ironing and decided to take the boredom out of the domestic chore by doing.
Guys on a cliff.
Others rose to the
Underwater.
challenge of ironed underwater, upside down on a climbing wall, and even on the back of a cow.
I don't recommend that one.
There was one there. They were skydiving. What? Board, yeah. I don't know where.
No, okay.
This seems too memey to be real, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Now I can kind of see Wade finding the extreme boat docking. How the hell did you find
fair
extreme
question.
ironing?
How did you come across this, Kurt?
Oh, maybe 10 years ago, when the internet first came out.
Kurt's been to some places on the internet that not many people have been, I have a feeling.
Yes, and speaking of this YouTube shit, we just recently had the what was it, the 23rd anniversary of YouTube?
I think it's 22nd, maybe. Don't remember, but yeah.
Yeah, it was just
Isn't that
last
crazy? I
week.
think that's over 20 years old.
No kidding.
What was like the? Isn't there like a way you can look up the first video ever uploaded?
It's something at the zoo.
Oh yeah. I remember that.
The Z Morning Zoo? Or is that what you're talking about?
No, it was like my day at the zoo or something. Was like the first video on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were just talking about the anniversary. Well, Kurt's showing us that these guys are gonna iron while skydiving.
Maybe.
Or maybe this guy's just hanging upside
I
down.
don't see an ironing board anywhere, so they're disqualified already.
It's on his feet.
Oh.
It's just a snowboard, though.
He's using the snowboard. That's stupid. Should have used a real ironing board.
So is he gonna drop that iron when he like pulls his chute?
I think that would be not the brightest thing to do, but maybe.
Yeah, it's like I hope nobody.
Unless there's there's probably nobody behind him. But nope, he's hanging on to it. It's probably illegal to drop things while you're skydiving, I
I
imagine.
dropped it.
or at least anything
Comes through
with,
someone's roof.
or at least anything with
Pretty
any
sure they're
weight.
not above any houses.
Yeah.
Because I've seen them all the time, like throwing a ball back and forth. So you would think, if that ball has got a pretty good chance of someone missing it and getting away from them.
Yeah, speaking of...
You need something that would go terminal velocity, though.
Probably
I
have to
don't
be
yeah.
something with a certain weight.
I don't think like a tennis ball would work. You'd need like a trained ball bearing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Something heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have one of those at home.
I'm telling you, dude, Kurt finds random shit. It's one of his secret abilities.
Is that something you bought, or or something you found?
Found it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Along the train tracks?
Yep.
Okay.
It's a good thing you didn't find it on State Street somewhere.
Yeah.
That would have been weird.
Yeah.
You never know. You could have found it in a pawn shop or in a...
In a pond.
Yeah.
He's good. Kurt's probably... You strike me as like you'd be interested in like magnet fishing.
Yeah, I'd get into that.
Yeah, I could see Kurt being a hardcore magnet fisher, have his own channel and stuff, dude.
Those guys find some weird shit.
Yeah, some dangerous shit too.
No kidding. It's like all the time where the cops are coming and like saw like one guy like getting arrested and
like guns and bombs.
yeah.
What's even more weird is it just makes me want to dig in deeper and figure out like why was this stuff dumped in the lake in the first place? You know what I mean? Like what happened when there was one guy pulling mortars out of a river or something? He had to call the bomb squad and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is unexploded ordnance from the army."
Yeah.
So like, what dude was driving down the highway with a bunch of mortars and was like, "Oh shit, let's
I
just
gotta
throw
get rid
them
of
in."
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to get rid of it, or did they fall off a truck? Who knows?
Someone stole it. Like shit. What are we gonna do with all this
Yeah,
shit?
you can't sell them to
It's like
anybody.
the
They're-
worst thing to do is to throw shit in a river because somebody's gonna find it.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's probably gonna be a kid.
Remember when we had those pretty bad droughts and like Lake Mead was like, what was it, Lake Mead or one of those lakes got so low on water that they found all these old boat wrecks and cars and
Oh yeah,
stuff.
like Powell and like Mead are both.
They
doing
found
it,
a dead body in a barrel or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a 50-gallon barrel.
Yep.
We should probably go open that up.
Yep. I'm sure if like all the lakes were to just suddenly dry up, you'd find some crazy things.
Oh yeah. I mean, look at Jordanelle. You'd find a town
Yeah. Yeah. True.
or a little. I guess you call it a town or whatever.
That's
but-
why it's fun to drive through Thistle.
Yeah.
That used to be a town at one point in Utah.
But
Till that whole mountain slid in the river.
exactly.
Speaking of another thing that has to do with YouTube, is like everybody I think at this point has heard of One Bite Pizza reviews from Barstool, Dave Portnoy. There's a guy from Utah that he flew out there, and he's like the only interview that I think's been done at the Barstool headquarters, but he was from Utah. His name was like It's Dough Guy on Instagram. I don't remember what his score was though, but let me look it up really quick. But I was trying to figure out. I don't want to watch like the whole review. Let me see how long it is. Oh, it's 8 minutes. No, we don't want to watch that. Let me see if I can get to the point where he gives it a score.
So did they have like a pizza oven for him at the?
He made it in I think the reason that he brought him out there is because he baked in their normal oven. It's commercial oven, commercial range, but he created these like pizza steels that you can buy that are supposed to make the crust just like a regular pizza oven.
Oh, really?
From your home oven, yeah. So he was kind of promoting that at the same time. But I think he got a pretty decent score. Let me see. I can't. It didn't do the stamp. No. Oh yeah, here it is. Just saw it. He got an 8-1.
Really?
Yeah, the dude from Utah. And I think that they have a pizza place here that you can go to, but I'm not sure. I haven't been able to find anything. Maybe he just makes those pizza steels, but that would be kind of weird. Do you watch any of those pizza reviews?
I have before, yeah.
Yeah. When we were in Vegas, I really wanted to go find a couple places that you'd been to try it, but
Yeah.
wish I would have known about it when I went to New York. That would have been interesting. Hit me with something else, Chaz.
Okay. Have you heard of the birthday paradox?
No, I have not.
So, how many people would you say it would take in a room for two of those people to have the same birthday?
I don't know, but this is funny you're bringing this up because the guy at the liquor store the other day was like, "Oh, August 7th birthday. I've seen 3 of those today, and it's really weirding me out."
Really?
Yeah. So anyway, keep going.
So I'm just how many people do you think it would take to have
Two people in the same room with
to have the same birthday?
25.
I was gonna say probably around like 30.
Is Kurt looking this up?
No, I'm not.
You're pretty damn close.
Oh, nice.
It's 23 would give you a 50% chance.
20 to 30.
23 people would give you a 50.7% chance.
Okay.
So, to get to how many do you think it would take to get to 100% chance?
Well, if 20-30 gives you 50, then I'd imagine it's probably 60 to 70.
Yeah, 60 is gonna give you 99.4.
Yeah.
70 is gonna give you 99.9. 75 takes you to 99.97.
Interesting. So what's the paradox?
It was just some.
Oh, okay.
mathematical formula on, or the birthday problem, I guess you should say.
Okay.
And how many
makes
people
sense.
it would take, just random people in.
That tells you how many people are on the planet, though.
Yeah.
Because it's less than you would think. You
Exactly.
know? Yeah, you'd think it'd take more than that to be 100% chance. Or as close as you can get to 100 without getting your eyes wet. Huh, that's interesting to think about. I bet you there's a ton of stats that you could look up that line up with that, too. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like
yeah.
a bunch of different mathematical stuff. There's a guy also on, geez, maybe this is just a YouTube episode, but there's a guy on YouTube that people will say like, oh, I'm doing this and this and this, or I'm making this basketball shot from here, and this guy's like got a PhD in mathematics, and he'll just be like, no, you didn't, here's why, and he'll calculate all the math based off of like information he can just get from the video, from like a still in the video.
Oh, really?
And like he's almost always correct, and it's basically like prove them wrong, like, no, you weren't standing at that height because the building that you're standing on is only this high. And so like he just debunks a bunch of stuff. And that's the same thing that like Electro Boom does, but he does it with electricity. That guy, I don't envy his job because he just gets shocked on purpose for the laugh.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to like prove a point. I think we've mentioned him on an episode previously. I don't know which one off the top of my head. What you got, Kurt?
What's grosser than gross? Did you ever do that when you were a kid?
No.
What's grosser than gross?
No.
Well, apparently a woman in China claims to have caught herpes from holding a karaoke mic too close to her face.
Ah.
Yeah, that's pretty nasty.
There's a few things. Well, there's a few problems with that. I think number one, to get herpes, you have to have like an open wound on your lip, like a cracked lip or something. And number two, was this a flesh microphone?
Flesh microphone.
A fleshlight?
Hopefully not. Was that your Kurt's Corner? That's a really random Kurt's Corner. You got something else? Or was that just your fun fact?
No, it's just a fun fact.
Oh, nice. Thanks.
Yeah,
I was hoping it'd take up another 7 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah,
I don't know if I believe that, especially the other problem is she's from China.
Yeah.
Don't they believe in like eating bark to cure like knee pain?
Yeah, probably.
Like, eat this bark, dude. Make a tea out of it. Soak your knee in it.
But yeah, cinnamon maybe.
I mean,
that
there's
is
plenty
bark.
of things that help with knee pain. Turmeric probably helps.
Yeah, turmeric does work as an anti-inflammatory, so I could see that maybe working as to help with inflammation of the knees.
Yeah, I wonder if there's like, you know what? I bought some Epsom salts because I was like, after being lazy all winter,
Yeah.
I was complaining before the show to Ches that I'm like, yeah, it just takes a minute to get your body back in. Like, hey, you're doing physical activity. It's nice outside again. And now that I'm 40, it's like my joints hurt a little bit more than they used to, right? It's not that bad, but I was like, it might be nice to have a foot bath. But I was like, why is it Epsom salt? Is it like scientifically proven that it's soothing, or is it just like one of those things? I mean, I think there are some benefits to it.
So did you get one of those foot baths then too?
No. I just gonna use my bathtub. I ain't going that far.
Just throw a bunch of Epsom salt in, just take an Epsom salt bath?
Yeah. Just put my feet in there. Stress. So it offers this. Thanks for AI. Epsom salt offers several benefits, including stress reduction, muscle pain relief, and potential improvements in skin health and blood sugar regulation.
Really?
Yeah. It claims, I don't know, and that's the other problem that you have with AI is that where did it get that from? Where's its references?
Yeah.
Like I think that's a scary part about AI is people just take it super literal. And it's like, we don't know where it got that from. With the AI is only as smart as the model it was trained against.
And I believe they use Epsom salts in the float tanks.
Yeah, I can see that.
So,
Well, you got to do that to get neutral buoyancy anyway, I would imagine.
Yeah, you got to have enough salt to get...
I think they should bring back Saltaire, man. Unpopular opinion, but I want to go float around in that.
It's not salty enough anymore.
It's too salty?
It's not salty enough.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know the salinity was going down. I thought it was going up.
No, I think it's going down.
There's no way.
because it's not. I don't think it's because it was so salty you couldn't sink, and you can sink now, so I don't think it's.
I gotta AI fact check you. The salinity of the Great Salt Lake is generally increasing as water evaporates.
Really, I thought it was the other way since.
The lake's salinity has ranged from 5% to 27% in the past 22 years, with some areas reaching even higher levels. Evaporation is the main cause of increased salinity. Great Salt Lake is a terminal lake, meaning it has no outlet to the ocean. Drought and water levels have increased salinity. But it also depends on which part of the lake you're in, because like if you're obviously by where like a river flows into the lake, it's going to be way less salty, I'm sure. Yeah, dude, we need to float things out there. Why has nobody made that a YouTube channel yet? Will it float? Just throw it in the Great Salt Lake.
Yeah.
I'm sure that all of the activist groups for the Great Salt Lake won't be mad about that.
We should ask if a human will still float in the Great Salt Lake.
Okay. I mean, arguably the humans float in water.
Well, you'll sink in regular water. I mean,
we are not the first people to ask this question. Yes, human will still float in the Great Salt Lake. Lake's high salt concentration makes the water much denser than regular fresh water, causing people to float easily. The salinity can reach up to 27%, making it more buoyant than the ocean. Thanks, AI. You're coming handy today.
Yeah. So one thing I've always wanted to do is I've always wanted to catch like a stringer of fish and then go out to the Great Salt Lake with a fishing pole and act like you're fishing in the Great Salt Lake.
That would be kind of funny.
People are like, yeah, there's no fish in there. Oh, yeah, how do you explain these?
How do you explain this? Yeah. Go out there and catch some brine shrimp.
Yeah.
I was looking at a map of the Great Salt Lake just on Google Maps and found some old like crazy artifacts on there that were kind of interesting. Like if you kind of like scroll around the edge of the Great Salt Lake, you can find like old remnants of different places that they used to harvest brine shrimp from. Did I say brine shit? Brine shrimp from. Like they built these whole bays and stuff, and then as the lake has changed and when the railroad put the bridge or the land bridge across it and the salinity changed on both sides, they had to move them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I forget what the name of the harbor was though. I'm trying to see if I can find it really quick.
Have you actually ever been out on the Great Salt Lake?
I've never been out on the Salt Lake. I think it'd be cool, but it also, at the same time, not that cool.
Yeah, years ago I worked a casino party, and it was on like a dinner cruise that was out on the Great Salt Lake.
Do they still have something like that?
I don't know if they still do or not. It's probably too shallow now. But it was like so... Like it was like wintertime, and it was like dark and foggy, and like all the people inside, like all the windows were steamed up and you couldn't see out, and so it was like, this is really actually kind of dumb.
Well, yeah, I mean, arguably there's not much to see out there anyway.
Yeah.
I guess it'd be cool looking back at like the valley with the mountains and stuff, but like it's not really like the lake that you want to go out and like, hell, it smells like shit most of the time. But depending on where you're at,
yeah,
obviously, which way the wind's blowing, but that's how I always know during the wintertime if we're going to have a bad snowstorm, because you can smell the lake.
We're going to get a lake effect.
Yeah, it's coming in from that direction.
Yeah, I'm out that way for work, so like there'll be this like, got a little bit of lake stench going today.
Yep. You know which way the wind's blowing for sure.
Yep.
So there are places you can go still. Maybe we should do this as a podcast just to report back to everybody. You can get a 45-minute Great Salt Lake boat tour.
Oh, really? How much does it cost?
Let's see. Started for $39 per person, dude.
Oh, yeah?
Is the propeller dredging the bottom?
Yeah.
No, it's like, just looks like a pontoon boat, basically. So you probably go like 10 miles an hour.
Do they serve beer?
I don't know. Let me check.
I mean, because I'm pretty sure you can walk across the lake to some of these islands at this point.
Yeah, definitely like on the western or the eastern side of the lake, like you can walk out to Antelope Island if you really wanted to. Probably wouldn't be fun.
No, I can't imagine what that would do.
I mean, I don't even know how deep the Great Salt Lake is. 33 feet deep.
Oh, wow.
It doesn't say which part of the lake. It just says 33. Oh, there's a topographical depth map.
Oh, really?
It's handy. Let's see. Geology.utah.gov. Why haven't we done like a whole episode on the Great Salt Lake? We probably could. Oh, I don't. This is going to be buried somewhere on here for sure.
I wonder if our friends who did not end their podcast over at This Is a Place,
Yeah,
that we falsely reported that they
already got us once. Yeah, we might as well put this on them.
Yeah, you fooled us once.
Yeah, you got to do an episode on the Great Salt Lake.
Yeah, I don't know if you already have or not, but
yeah. Huh, interesting. We should take the tour. I can't tell, though. It doesn't say. It just says 45 minutes. It lasts approximately 45 minutes. You can buy the tickets mobile. What's included? This should be fun.
Imagine the smell.
They give you bottled water. They give you big smiles and a laugh. Lake history and stories. Entry and admission to the Great Salt Lake. What's not included? Guide gratuity. Utah State Park fee for $10 per car.
Respirators.
Refund or reschedule if you are late. Entry / admission to Great Salt Lake State Park.
Yeah, when I did the little dinner cruise thing out there, it didn't smell, so...
Yeah, I think it's really only on like the south side of the lake, like southwest, where it gets all like muddy. You know, like on the drive to I-80, so you off to the side of the road where everybody's like...
And that's some awful mud, too.
Oh, yeah, that'll ruin everything.
Yeah, you step in that and you get your foot out, and then you're going to step again and take more with you.
Yep.
That's like
bad.
us. That's like sand peat mud.
I'll never forget when I was a kid, we went out to Saltaire. It was closed, but you could walk out on like there's a little pier there or something.
Yeah.
And I remember being there with my uncle, and the salt, when it dries on the Great Salt Lake, it looks like it's dry sand, basically.
Yeah.
You can't tell, but it's actually like wet underneath. You just don't notice. And I remember I was about to go run out on it, and my uncle grabbed me, and he hooked a rock out there, and it just went... And it was just this big mud pit, dude. And talking to my dad later, he was a land surveyor for the power company. He ended up having to do some surveying out there, and he's like, "Oh yeah, he's been up to his waist in it. Like it's deep."
A friend of mine got his car stuck out there.
Can you imagine how bad that is
I
for your
was
car,
with
dude?
him.
Oh, really?
It was whether we slid. We were just hauling down a trail, and the trail just disappeared, and he just started sliding all over the place. And then we couldn't get it out. They had to call a tow truck company, and they couldn't pull it out with their ATVs. But they did bring a backhoe.
Oh, yeah?
And so they had to get that out and pull it out, and that was pretty pricey.
Oh, I can't even imagine how much even those off-road recoveries and stuff. It's got to be expensive as hell.
Well, I think they do a lot of those, especially if they're videoing.
Yeah, like a lot of them they do.
They like no charge.
No
Like
charge,
they'll make more money off the video.
Yeah, true.
From doing it, so...
I'm trying to see if there's any other like a boat tour with dinner, like you were saying, but dinner / booze cruises on the lake. Good old Reddit to the rescue. Let's see. Oh, this post was deleted by the person who originally posted it. So, if you're talking about on the Great Salt Lake, yeah, that's not a thing. Simply put, because it's a salt lake, it stinks. I mean, it smells like dead fish mixed with I don't even know what sewage smell. Better enjoyed from afar. It's beautiful, don't get me wrong, but you're not eating a nice meal while out there. Lots of biting bugs, too. True. I'd be shocked if there was anything like what you're looking for. I don't know. I've never really had the desire to go out and have dinner on the Great Salt Lake.
Neither have I.
All right, let's take a break.
All right.
We'll be back in just a minute. And we're back. Episode 342. Weekly InSalt. I didn't introduce you guys this time.
Yeah.
I just remembered. We just haven't done it long enough.
They better know who we are by now.
Yeah, if you don't have
Unless they're new.
That's Ches.
Yep.
And we've got the diva sound over here.
And I was recently self-diagnosed with asymptomatic sudden savant syndrome.
Yeah, right. You? He's basically trying to say that he suddenly becomes super smart.
But it's asymptomatic.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, that's funny.
So,
there was something that I was looking at in my notes here right when we were getting started that I need to look up really quick. But I guess we can talk about what we were talking about on break. I went and saw Alton Brown live That was cool. I don't think I talked about that on the podcast yet.
No, I don't think we've recorded since then.
Yeah.
I don't like that guy.
Why not?
I don't know. Just don't like him.
Why? Because he makes you feel dumb about food? Because he makes everybody feel dumb about food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was on the Iron Chef, like he was the announcer dude for Iron Chef, you know?
Oh, yeah.
He had good eats.
Yeah, I remember the American Iron Chef.
Yeah.
He co-hosted that with Kristen Kish. It's one of my,
Yep.
one of my favorite celebrity chefs.
Oh, I don't know who Kristen Kish, what?
Kristen Kish. You'll know why.
Oh, I have a feeling she's Asian.
And she's cute.
Yep. Sorry, now I'm distracted, dude.
Oh, yeah. She's hot, isn't she?
I don't know. She's not my type, but yeah, she's a hot Asian. But it was cool seeing his show. He did a lot of. I think you can still go to eltonbrownlive.com and get some. There's still some showings left, but not in Salt Lake. You'd have to probably catch him somewhere close by. But it was kind of interesting because it was more like a play. But he talked about Iron Chef a little bit in it, like about his experiences doing that, and then what got him into food and stuff. And that was kind of interesting to see. But then he did a cool demonstration, which was like a 3 to 4 inch like carbon steel plate that they heated up. They couldn't use any fire because some theaters won't allow it, so they had to use like electricity to heat everything. So he heats up this big huge slab and then made like an omelet on it, but he filmed it with he had a camera that was infrared. So when you poured like the cold eggs on it, you know, like all the colors look kind of cool in infrared, and then you could see it slowly cooking. But like it took him probably like 10-15 minutes to talk and cook that, and the carbon steel block only lost like 10 degrees.
And how hot was it before you started?
I think it was at like 3 something, 4 something. I want to say like 3, almost 400. It was crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, dang, dude. And then I think the like finale was they built this. They kind of made it the show around. It was kind of like this hypothetical, fictional like carnival machine where like Elton Brown. They showed a little video of him like finding the schematics for this machine in some old attic, you know, and then. At the very end, they bring out the machine that he built based off those old schematics, and it was basically this machine that made hot dogs, but really fast, and then they'd time you. 4 people from the audience would go up, and they'd time how long it would take you to make 80 hot dogs and package them all up. I think Salt Lake, if I remember correctly, got second place the first showing. Salt Lake got second place, but I don't think he's going to post the results anywhere. And then, and then, you know, we were close enough that I had a chance to eat a hot dog, but they all look like shit.
Oh, yeah. How long did it take?
I think it only took like 8 or 9 minutes for 80 hot dogs. Which, like, it had a conveyor belt, and then like a big thing that held all the buns was like, looked like a giant carousel or a Ferris wheel. And then they had like the condiment, the ketchup and mustard on like zip things. You pull them down like udders, you know, so as the hot dogs would come screaming by, you could go. It was kind of cool to watch. It was fun. But it was different than what I was expecting. I didn't know really what I expected, but I didn't expect it to be like a play.
So it probably would take 2 hours, a couple hours to cook 80 hot dogs. And this machine does it in 9 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, except that it takes 2 hours to get the thing set up and prepped. And
Yep. I'm sure it took forever. There was the 2 guys that were his stagehands or whatever that would come move props around and stuff. They were the dudes that built the machine, so he didn't necessarily build it. They built it for his show, and then they were there to help run it. Watching them set it up and like prep all the people that were helping, it was like interesting. You could tell that they had to have certain things lined up at a certain spot, or else it wouldn't work. Mm-hmm. So they were like double checking everything at the very last minute too, like like just slightly adjusting some conveyor belts. Because I'm sure they probably had a few shows where it went like wrong.
Oh, I'm sure.
But they kind of reminded me of being back in school when I was younger and doing like the high school play. Like, I can't imagine that being your job. Because I doubt that Elton Brown gets nervous anymore. You know what I mean? But like, I remember when we do like school play, dude, I get so nervous. Like, I can't screw up, you know? And then sometimes you get so focused on not screwing up that it'd make you screw up. Especially when it came to like memorizing lines, dude. I was horrible at that. But yeah, that was cool. If you want to do something different, go see if you can catch him somewhere.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can find any footage anywhere, like on YouTube or anything with the.
I think he had some
machine
on his website, eltonbrownlive.com. I think there's a little preview of it. I don't think they show the machine though, because give away the show, right?
Yeah.
I got his book. His book was signed by him. I thought that was cool. I mean, he's basically the reason why I got into food, was just because I'd sit and watch Good Eats all the time.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I'd watch like every episode of Good Eats, and I would just love like how he had the scientific approach to food.
Oh, exactly, yeah.
And so I was like, yeah, that makes sense. And I remember him always saying, like, I don't buy single-use kitchen gadgets. I think he single-handedly pretty much killed the single-use kitchen gadget market, you know?
He's got one unitasker.
Yep. What is it again?
Fire extinguisher.
Oh, yep. Yep, that's true. I have a fire extinguisher in my kitchen. I think everybody should have one in their kitchen.
It's like this is the only
Unitasker.
unitasker.
Yeah.
So did you end up seeing the final of the All-Star
But
on Food Network?
the Tournament of Champions?
Tournament Champions, yeah.
No, I haven't watched it yet.
Oh,
I
okay.
haven't watched it yet.
Have you watched any of it?
I watched like a couple of them. I think I watched a few of Jet Tila's, but I haven't actually. I think I have it all recorded. I just forget about it.
Did you see when Jet Tila lost?
Yeah.
That was
crazy.
I mean, both those guys had incredible scores that should win.
Yeah.
It should win 99% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And
He made that. Jet Tila accidentally invented the fish sauce caramel or whatever, and like guys like, dude, I want this in a bottle, dude. Or like, I'd buy this at the store.
Yeah, and the guy that beat Jet Tila made a hamburger out of was it New York or something?
Yeah, I think so.
And everyone's like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Probably it looked delicious.
And then they're like, oh shit, that worked.
Yep.
He killed it with that. But I was like, that's.
They
But if you're
going to
lose-
a crazy high level, yeah. If you're going to lose,
With the score of like 90.
yeah. It just happened to be the matchup where they both got super high scores.
That
Do you watch any of that?
No,
You don't watch any cooking shows?
not really.
That probably should have been the championship match.
Mm-hmm. Makes all the other matches kind of seem dumb.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, he took 8th place and he scored higher than like anybody else ever scored.
Mm-hmm. This sucks. That's the way competition is sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
I've been stuck playing this game. The game's been around forever, but it's gotten fun. I want to try to watch this guy who plays it all the time on like a stream, but it's called Trackmania. And it's an old racing game where you have like an F1 car, kind of similar to that, but it's obviously a game, so it's kind of like futuristic. But your car behaves differently based on obviously the terrain, but they have things like plastic, things like wood, and the grip is all different. You have to feel it out. And the way that it compete with each other is that you run a track and you get your time, and then it tells you how well you did in the world, how well you did in the United States, how well you did in Utah.
Oh, really?
So it granularly breaks it down. And last night, and then they release a new track every day, and you can compete live, like against players in Utah or whatever, you know.
Is this like a mobile game?
I don't think it's on mobile. I think it's just PC.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe they have it. I think they have it on console too. I think you get it on any console basically. But like track of the day will come out, and so at night, like at least once, I'll go run the track of the day and see how I can do. Last night I got sucked in, dude. I couldn't get past top 29 in Utah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got to 29, and I was like, dang, I guess that is kind of fun because then you're like, I mean, the only way you can get better is by getting a better line, right?
Yeah.
It's like if you drift at a certain point and then release your drift, you'll keep speed, and so like just driving it over and over and over again and seeing how good you can do, like, oh man, competitions. I didn't think I was that competitive. But
So do you have like a steering wheel to play it?
No, I just used the keyboard.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I just use keyboard. You can use a steering wheel, but it just doesn't seem like it would be as easy.
Really?
Yeah, it's just easier to do like handbrake and space bar,
Okay.
And then it's muscle memory. I think that's also why I like it, is from playing the drums. Obviously, I've built muscle memory my whole life.
Yeah.
So just moving that to my fingers is a little bit easier. But it's fun.
You said it's called what?
Trackmania.
Trackmania.
Then if you look at like this guy, his name's Virtual, like virtual with a W.
Yeah.
He's he's somewhere in the top 10 in the world, and so he streams it, and you watch his videos, and you're like, what the hell? I know nothing about this game, dude. Because he knows like all these tricks about it. It's just cool to watch somebody be good at something, I think, you know?
Yeah.
That's the basis of it, right? Like we had all the people, even with the podcast, they're like, oh yeah, like listen to your podcast. Like, how long you guys done it for? We've done it for long enough that it's like we've just gotten decent at it. You know
It's
what I mean?
been over 7 years now.
Yeah, over 7 years. There it is.
Because I just got a memory of, I think it was today, when I made the pickled eggs
Yeah.
that we had on episode 10.
I've got pickled eggs in my fridge right now.
Yep.
I might have one after the show.
So
That was a good episode.
that was fun.
Yeah, that
That was the
fun.
first time we ever had guests on the show.
Yeah,
We
you
had
know,
no idea what the fuck we were doing.
no, those were the days of being nervous all the time. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like every show, and then trying to book guests, man, that's a nightmare. You know, seemed a lot easier back then, but that's because every guest was new. You know what I mean? So every guest was like this new opportunity for us. You know?
Every time we'd have a new guest, it'd be like freaking out. Now it's like, hey, you guys want to have Joe Rogan on? Sure, why not?
Yeah,
Fuck
why
it,
not?
who
Yeah,
cares?
I'd talk to anybody in this room.
Yeah.
It wouldn't even faze me twice.
Oh, yeah.
Once even, you know. And I think that even now when we have guests, a lot of times the guests are people that we've never met.
Yeah.
And so they just show up over here, and it's like we almost are too casual.
Yeah,
'Cause
exactly.
we have to make sure to ask them, like, what questions do you have? And they're like, oh, I got a ton of questions, you know, because I think we forget that it's like their first time doing something like that, or
exactly,
maybe their
yeah.
second or third time. And it's like, how many times have you guys done it? Oh, this is our 342nd time
Yeah.
doing it.
Plus
And-
or minus, so.
Well, yeah, we've actually done it more than that because some episodes weren't able to be released.
Yes. Some of them we had to do twice.
Some of them we had to do twice, and some of them got taken down.
Yeah.
2 of them have been taken down. The one that got taken down that was about the Delta Center, though, I think we could probably put it back out now.
Yeah.
But that was like a win, I think, on our part for even getting it taken down because all of the executives that work at the Delta Center listened to it.
Yep.
So, oh man, I can't believe that got taken down for a technicality about the name change.
And it was all predictions.
And it was already in the news story.
Yeah.
Like I think KSL had already said something about it. But our guest who works there at the time, it was being asked to be taken down. He was also requesting a promotion, so
Yeah.
I figured, yeah, we can take that down for you, bud.
And then did you see the Smith Entertainment Group has purchased the Salt Palace?
I didn't see that.
Purchased a small piece.
Yeah.
Just like a corner of the land.
For what?
I don't know.
Put
Yeah,
a big
it was-
giant dick statue on it.
It was a very big piece, though.
Do you think that's why they sold their share of Real? So they could have the money to get the Salt Palace?
No, they probably have the money. Like, think about what they own. I mean, getting the hockey team into the Delta Center was one of the smartest decisions that Smith Entertainment Group could have ever made, because now think about it. They've got something going on there all the time.
That's true.
They're selling tickets all the time now, you know, and then concerts on the weekend or whenever, you know, whenever they can fit in concerts. Like, probably a really smart idea.
Although I think hockey season and basketball season are pretty similar.
Yeah, but I mean, you're selling twice. Selling out the state. You're selling tickets twice as many times as you were before.
Yeah, but now they got to build another stadium
Yeah, they do.
because that Delta Center's not built for hockey.
Well, they're not going to do that, actually. It's closed right now. This is the insider information. Not that I heard it from anybody that we might have aforementioned. You know, this is all rumor and opinion. Not necessarily the opinion of the Delta Center.
They're not going to build a hockey arena.
I don't think they are, because right now the Delta Center is closed for the whole summer because they're renovating it to meet the NHL standards for hockey.
That's what Smith Entertainment Group bought.
They bought
Oh.
the walkway?
Just that little,
Zoom in on that shit.
just that little piece right there.
Control mouse wheel.
I can't.
Oh, you don't have a mouse, huh?
I can control plus. No.
Oh, and then what kind of shitty web developers are there at KSL?
I don't know.
Just
Hey,
kidding.
KSL, I got a good web developer for you.
You can't afford me.
Oh, so it was funny. So this reminded me of you. I saw these little shorts. I've seen them a few times on YouTube. But there's this guy in England, and he stands there like the ladder, and he'll have people come up and stand on the other side of the ladder.
Career ladder?
Career ladder,
I
yes.
see him all the time, yeah.
So he had a guy come up, and I called his career before he even got on the ladder.
Oh, really? Which guy was it? I've seen I saw a bunch of those today, actually.
So the guy's like, "Is your job legal?" He's like, "Yeah, for some."
He was in a Lamborghini?
No, I didn't see him in a car at all.
Oh.
So when
I think I know the guy.
So the guy, he's like, yeah, it is. He's like, for some people, my job's legal. So he was asking him all the questions, whatever. And before he even came up, I'm like, this guy's an ethical hacker.
Oh, yeah. I saw that guy. Yeah, I do it legally.
Yeah, I'm like,
what he said. I thought it was something. I don't remember what I was trying to guess with him.
But before he even got on the ladder, and he said, for me, it is. I'm like, he's an ethical hacker.
Yeah.
And then he gets done. He's like, yeah, I'm an ethical hacker.
Dude, I've had that would be the ultimate cool business to have, is just to be a penetration testing company, dude.
Yeah.
Like, just you get a name of a company and you just break in if you can, and then tell us how you did it.
Yeah, exactly.
You could physically break in, you can social engineer, you can hack, you could. The guy when I was at DEF CON who did that as a career, he owned his own business, and he would go around the country doing penetration tests for power companies.
Oh, really?
So he was like, yeah, we would sneak into these places like dressed in all black, go to the like substation at night, go in there and try to pick the lock on like the boxes and shut things off. And so like sometimes when there's power outages happen, it's because there's a penetration company that got in and turned the power off.
Yeah.
But they don't get in trouble, because then they go back with a full report and say, here's exactly what we did.
Yeah.
Because then if you know what happened, then you know how to prevent it. Right, Kurt?
Yeah.
Yep. What else did I have in my notes? I think I already talked about the grant. Was this before the show, or there's somebody or the city?
No, I think that was before we talked about this grant.
There's talks of moving the Trax lines that are downtown underground, and they're offering some giant grant to do it. That doesn't mean that Salt Lake City is getting a subway. It means it potentially could get a subway, but it's not cheap to do things underground. I'm just going to pull up the website really quick. I should have already had it up. But I saw there was something. Moving rails in Salt Lake City underground is costly. Will new benefits report change that? I think that they... Oh yeah, the Rio Grande plan calls for the existing railroad corridor to be moved underground through a train box from 4th North to 13th South near downtown Salt Lake City. Advocates say doing so will improve the safety. Oh, I accidentally scrolled. Safety and east-west connectivity because it removes interactions with trains. It could also open up about 75 acres of land for future redevelopment. So, like, new land, but... I mean, it costs expensive to go underground,
Yeah.
Of course they would build houses on it, or apartments, right? New household income for more than 12,500 possible new housing units. Yeah. 2,500 new housing units can go on that 75 acres.
That's like
$3,000 a month.
I guess that's how much. That just goes to show you that like the world does revolve around money, right?
Yeah.
And if it's gonna create enough revenue, they'll do anything.
Lease only, you can't buy them.
I'll guarantee you can't buy them.
Yeah, that reminds me, like, I don't know if you've seen the old movie, The Blues Brothers.
Yeah.
They get to the apartment and the train's going by. How often does the train go by? So often you won't even notice.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I remember at my sister's house when I lived with her for a little while there. She's kind of just like west of I-15 on the railroad side. You could feel the train. And like the first night I was like, what is that, an earthquake? And then you did get used to it after a while.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think that would kind of be cool. They've got a little rendering here of what looks like basically a giant subway. No, it doesn't even look like a subway station, but there's a platform down there, and then there's like a really modern looking glass covering over the top of it. So I mean, their digital rendering sure looks good, and it also magically made the air quality super great in their digital rendering too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Good.
No air quality problems in Salt Lake.
Yeah.
According to this rendering.
That's going to solve all our problems, huh?
Yep. And we're just going to all shove it down the subway tunnels just like New York does with their trash. That's funny. We were talking about it in college, like I think there was a project that was like, if you were going to solve the air quality problem in Utah, what would you do? But there was no limit to it, right? Like you had an infinite budget, you could do anything you want. And I was like, dude, we just build big fans on the West Mountain, blow it over to Tooele.
That's what I was just going to say. Giant fans, just blow it out.
Yeah, just blow it out.
I mean,
I think it would be cool if we did go underground because, I mean, I think that, I don't know, I wouldn't mind it, but I swear being around Midvale is tough because when you, down by your house, Kurt, there's that Trax station, and I swear to God, every time I turn on 7800 South heading towards that station, the fucking arms come down, and then one train passes, and the arms stay down for another 5 minutes until the other train passes because you're right in the middle of the valley.
Yep.
There's one night I got stuck sitting there for like 15 minutes. Dude,
that train crossing pisses me off every time.
Yeah.
It frustrates me that the arms start coming down, and then the train stops at the station.
Yeah.
Waits for everybody to get off, and then goes.
Yeah, like why can't the arms stay up if the train's stopping at the station and then go down when the train's about to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
When I was riding the front,
we want to know, DOT.
Yeah.
When I was riding the front runner, I had my stop was in Murray at the Murray Hospital, and it angered me because I had to transfer from the front runner over to the blue line.
Yeah.
And the train would slow down to like 2 miles an hour, like 5 miles before the station.
Oh, really?
I'm like, why? I'm going to miss my fucking train because of
You're
this
losing
bullshit.
your shit on the front runner.
Yeah. And I'm like, what's going on here? So I end up calling UTA and bitching. I'm like, why the fuck do you do this?
What was their answer?
They're like, well, because there's a crossing right there. There's an intersection. It's like some federal law.
Oh, really?
That requires trains to be at a certain speed while approaching an intersection like that.
Oh, interesting. I guess it makes sense for like a train that's got a lot of weight behind it, like a cargo train or a freight train, you know?
Yeah, I don't know.
For like a standard passenger train, I don't know. I can't imagine that train's light though, you know, front runner. It's probably pretty heavy. And it's basically just a normal train, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's running the same tracks as
Union Pacific.
I love how they just slam that shit into reverse.
Hell yeah.
And go they run it in backwards. All the way down to Provo.
I think that's what they do with the regular Trax trains too. They just when the driver reaches the end, he just gets out and goes to the other control room on the other side.
It's symmetrical. It looks normal.
Oh yeah. Because when it's going the other way, you still see a person in the front.
Yeah. Where you got the locomotive at the front.
Yeah, this one just stays in the back and that's cool. I think that, and then there's been so many debates on Reddit too about Trax and like, well, it's so dumb that they can't operate 24/7. And it's like, well, because they have a contract with Union Pacific that their freight trains can run during the night. So they can't. That's why I've heard that's the reason why Trax closes at like midnight.
Well, it wouldn't be Trax.
No, the Union Pacific doesn't use
not the Trax lines.
Trax lines.
I think they do transfer onto it to get to like their maintenance places and shit.
On the front runner lines?
I think so. Or on the Trax lanes, yeah.
Probably not the Trax lines.
I think so.
Those are light rails.
Yeah.
Those wouldn't support the weight of a locomotive.
Hell yeah, they would. They were there way before Trax were.
No, they put them all in.
Front runner and Union Pacific run on the same line, but not, and so as well as Amtrak.
No, they have their own. Front runner has
Utah Transit Authority has a contract with the Union Pacific. The Utah's Trax light rail line, including the Sandy City line, uses the Union Pacific's right-of-way and had an agreement that gave UTA control over the operation and maintenance of the railroad right-of-way.
What? No way.
The Sandy Trax line was built on the former roadbed of Union Pacific's line between Salt Lake City and Provo, which UTA purchased in March of 1993. So the Utah Department of Transportation owns it, or UTA owns it.
Yeah.
So no longer is the Union Pacific. So they probably don't use it anymore. You're right. There you go, Reddit. Full of a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, I imagine they were using it well before.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. If they bought it in 93. Yeah. They probably used it before then, but...
Yeah, I used to ride the front runner all the time.
You did, yeah. I've never even ridden it to this day.
Really?
Never once.
It sucks.
It does. My next question was...
So, yeah, I guess it really wouldn't be... because Amtrak doesn't go south. So Amtrak goes east.
Yeah.
And it goes south for a minute and then turns east. I've seen an Amtrak train heading south before on the Union Pacific lines.
I used to think,
But yeah, it heads out along I-80 though, south or east
Yeah, it makes
or
sense.
west.
you just named like every direction except north.
Actually, it might go down through Grand Junction
Yeah, I think so.
It might.
because it doesn't go to Vegas. I know that much.
Yeah, I think it goes south and it heads east.
I used to think it would be super cool to take the Amtrak train until
until you
the last few
read
years
all of their derailments.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I took it when I was a kid. We took it 1 year back to Sacramento.
I just think it'd be cool to take your time, even though it'd suck to take that long to get to where you're going.
Dude, I just sit in the bar car the whole time.
Yeah, but at least you'd be in the bar car looking out the window at different scenery than we're used to on the highway. That'd
It's
be
going to
cool.
cost you just as much as an airplane ticket and take you five times
as long. Yeah,
Actually, it's a lot.
You can get 5 times drunker too.
Gee, damn right.
Well,
I bet
actually,
they
I'm
don't
not
give
going
you
to say
free
5
drinks,
times
though.
longer. I mean, you can get to Sacramento in an hour and a half. It's going to take you a day and a half on Amtrak.
Yeah, yeah. It doesn't seem like. I guess there are people still that don't fly. You know what I mean? There are some people that absolutely refuse to fly. They just won't do it. So they'll take the train or they'll.
John Madden was that way.
Take a Greyhound bus.
Oh man.
Get that ticket right next to the seat, right next to the shitter.
Yeah.
On a 12-hour Greyhound trip. Somebody's just ate nothing but Taco Bell for 3 days before they got on the bus.
Yeah, John Madden wouldn't fly.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think his wife was actually a licensed pilot,
That's crazy.
but he wouldn't fly. So that's why he had a bus.
Yeah. Yeah, if I had my own bus too, I don't think.
Yeah, exactly.
Why not? You got a driver, you've got a king size bed in that bus or something. You
Yeah.
got a kitchen in there. Yeah, I'd drive too.
Yeah.
How long is it going to be there? It's going to be about 8 hours. All right, I'm going to bed. Fun driving.
You got your in-motion satellite and
Yep. Starlink, I'm sure they all have now.
oh yeah.
Well,
So
I guess to wrap up the show, we'll just leave you with this: the cats finally are doing it. They're uprising. The revolt has started. A cat has successfully killed 2 humans
yes,
and survived it. Just kidding.
Yeah.
No, I was reading an article before the show that there's some hikers that fell in Bryce Canyon, and they had a cat with them. I don't know if it's in a backpack, or I'm sure it was in, because you've seen those bubble backpacks for cats or whatever. Maybe it was that. I don't know.
Ridiculous.
They slipped. They are ridiculous. When was it? Never mind. I don't want to know the answers to certain questions, so I just don't ask them. When was it a thing to actually take your cat everywhere?
And put it in some bubble for everyone to look at.
I think it's so the cat can see. They think the cat gives a shit about.
Yeah. Cat's just planning its fucking revenge.
Yeah, and that's what happened to these hikers. I think that what happened is the cat probably tripped one of them, or made them stumble by shifting their weight. But anyway, these 2 hikers fell, which is horrible. They died. That's a horrible thing. But when they recovered them, they found the cat, and they were amazed that the cat was in pretty good condition. It survived a 300-foot fall.
Or did the cat get loose and they both fell trying to retrieve the cat?
Maybe. But I guess the news article didn't specify if the cat was at the top of the cliff or the bottom. And we can't trust the media these days.
No.
Yeah, so there you have it. If you have any cats, just keep an eye on them. They're out to get you. I'm telling you, we've known for years. We just didn't believe it.
They're uprising.
Do you guys have anything else?
The world already knows about this. We got a conclave coming up.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that you wanted to talk about this. Isn't that just like electing the new Pope president?
Yep. Anyone can be the Pope. You don't have to be a certain age. You can be a 7-year-old and be elected Pope.
I think they just don't elect it because they don't. I've heard that they kind of don't want a Pope to be around forever. They kind of want.
Back in the day, there used to be popes that lasted a while.
Yeah, the youngest on record was, they believe, 18.
Yeah.
Dang, dude. What a stud.
But yeah, got a conclave. This is the 4th conclave in my lifetime.
When are they doing the smoke signals or whatever?
Well, it starts on May 7th.
Okay.
And the current time now, a conclave has only lasted about 5 days at the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the last 2 lasted 2 days each.
Yeah.
How long can they last?
As long as it takes.
Months, years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a matter of agreement. But I'm pretty sure I know who it's going to be, though.
Let me guess. Pope Francis III.
Well, it's a guy whose name is Pietro Parolin.
Okay.
and he gets to choose his pope name. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. It's just like being a pimp, dude. Choose
Yeah.
your pimp name.
Like Pope Francis, his real name was Jorge something.
Sandoval or something?
No, Gorgolio or something. Jorge Gorgolio. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, you get to choose your own pope name.
I'm learning that I don't know anything about conclave.
Yeah.
But yeah, the voting process is pretty tight-lipped and secret.
Yeah, they do it behind closed doors, right?
Yeah, like they will lock them in until they come to a decision, except for eating and sleeping.
Yeah, and then they put up black smoke after every vote. Then they burn the ballots.
Yeah.
And if it comes out black smoke,
And they haven't decided.
and then it'll be white smoke when they have decided.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. But Pietro Parolin, he is basically the Secretary of State for the Vatican.
Isn't it just crazy to think that the Vatican City is its own country?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, you get away
the
with
Pope is the president.
Yeah.
And you think about all the cardinals. They're pretty much like all the state governors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting that because I think there's always those random quiz questions, right? Like, what are some of the smallest countries in the world? Vatican City. And you're like, Vatican City's a country?
I'd like to go visit that.
I think it'd be cool. Like,
it's really cool.
Be one of those places that you got a bucket list for sure. You know?
Yeah, I've visited.
I mean, I'm not much on the Catholic side, but they do have some really cool buildings.
Yeah,
that I'd like
dude.
to check
I
out.
think
There's
it'd be way
there's
cool.
that Catholic church that's downtown.
Yeah,
I hear it's pretty nice.
I went to the giant Catholic church that's in New York. Oh man, that thing was sweet.
Are you talking about the Cathedral of the Madeleine?
Yep.
I've been in there, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the Vatican's it's a really cool place.
Yeah, that would be super cool.
You been?
I have been to the Vatican. I've actually been 2 of the world's.
There's a lot of scammers out there.
Oh yeah,
$200, we'll get you a tea with the Pope.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh sweet.
Run off with your $200.
Yeah, see ya.
Yeah, I've been to 2 of the world's smallest countries.
What's the second one you've been to?
Rhode Island.
Monaco.
Okay, yeah. Monaco is a tiny one. Sweet.
So yeah, I've been to both Monaco and.
Watch. There's a movie that was out on Netflix. I don't know how old it is, but it's called The Two Popes.
Oh, people have been talking about that because of this thing.
Yeah. I watched it. It was pretty good. You know, like I said, I'm not Catholic, but I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah,
I think
it talks about the former Pope Francis and who's the guy before him.
I don't remember. John Paul.
no, that was the one before.
That was before. It was
Benedict.
Benedict, yeah. So Pope Benedict retired, and that's when Francis took over. But so the 2 of them were still alive.
Yeah.
And then it talks about all of that and how that came to be.
I thought it was really interesting too, though, after the Pope passed away, that it showed there was pictures going around of the room that he slept in, and it was just basically empty.
There
It's
wasn't much, yeah.
Yeah, because you'd always think oh, well, you're at the top of this
Some
hierarchy,
palatial
right?
resort.
Yeah. I mean, there was those pictures going around of the White House that Trump made changes to the White House, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, really? Started putting gold on everything.
Oh yeah.
Well, all the presidents do that.
Yeah, they all get a chance to make their own changes.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It was just gold was a bold choice because it kind of let's not get political.
Yeah.
We'll let you guys go easy today.
Yeah. Yeah, I know
All
he
right.
did gold the first time too, so.
Yeah, he did. But it's just got some palace vibes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right, well, that's it for us. We'll catch you when we catch you. This has been a weekly insult. You know what? We should adopt the smoke thing, dude. Like when we have a good show, we'll put up white smoke. Maybe we should just go back to smoke signals.
Yeah.
That culturally insensitive? Maybe. Less time.